All right, guys. So we're going to start recording now. This is actually the episode 4 of the $1 million funded challenge. All right. So let's get right into the trade breakdown. All right. So this week I took three trades. All right. The total trades I took for this week is three, and I took these two trades on the funded account. The video I made last that I actually got funded another 25k. So this I didn't have any other challenge account I was trading. So this week, all the trades I took this week was just on the funded account, and it really messed things up for me. All right, like I said earlier, that it has not been a good week. That this week is actually one of the toughest. All right, I made very big mistakes which actually affected my trading account, and these are mistakes that I shouldn't have made on the funded account. Even if I want to make this kind of mistakes, all right, should have been on the challenge account, but making this kind of mistake on the funded account is something that is very painful, because I don't, according to my plan, I don't trade my funded account the way I train the evaluation, because they are not the same thing. You take time to actually get to the funded phase, and it shouldn't be a marathon kind of something, something you just go there over risking and just lose the account. All right. And that was exactly what I was doing here. And I've actually gone back to reflect and go back to my journal, check for the things I did wrong, and I found out that it was me, overreacting. I was doing all of the things that I said I wasn't going to do on my trading plan. All right, the rules I made for myself. This is not the problem rules now, but I have personal rules for my trading, and these rules I said I was going to follow. I didn't actually follow them this week. So the whole thing. All right. So let me say the bone of contention for this week was I did not follow my rules, and I messed up the whole thing. All right, because I almost blew my account. The funded account now that I just got last week is already in about -9% drawdown. How did that happen? With just three trades, how did we get to -9% drawdown? And what is my risk rule for funded account? 0.5%, right? So how did we get to 9%? Because that 9%, if I'm to get a 9% drawdown on my funded account, I was supposed to risk. I was supposed to lose about 10, 15, 10 to 15 trades in a row to actually get there. Even if I'm risking 0.5, 10 trades in a row wouldn't even get to that 9%. All right. But how did it happen? That's exactly what I'll be breaking down in this video. So make sure you stick to the end. And the reason why I'm actually doing this work is sorry, is for the record purpose. So I will actually have it here. I guess it's something that I wouldn't want to repeat again. So it's better I have it documented. I've already done the journaling on my notebook and on Notion, right? So I needed to do the video part, and I'm very glad it's part of this challenge. So it will also be it would also be because these videos I do come back to them, and watch some of the trades I took, especially the ones I recorded, to see how I reacted, how I was actually, reacting during this trade and all of that. All right. So, because psychology in my trading has been one of the most difficult parts. I forget about analysis. The analysis is something anybody can learn in under 1 month. The words, the terms, they are very basic. Your order block, demand and supply, you can learn all of that in 1 to 2 months. But you see the real part of trading when you start putting in something, the risk, the psychology, you know, that risk management is very important. That's where creating following rules, because it's actually very hard. It's very hard. I'm telling you now from experience. No matter how simple it looks, it's very hard. All right, and that's why many people don't pass professions. They don't get funded because of these rules, and that's why you see people blow accounts, right? Because of these same rules, and that same reason I am in 9% drawdown because of this same rule. I couldn't follow the rules I created myself. All right, and that was actually what got me into this drawdown now. This is so sad, because imagine working hard for something. Funded account is not something you just come and you start risking anyhow and just lose it, because it takes time to get to that phase. all right? And when you finally get to the phase, you start risking anyhow on it, so just lose it in about a week. Something that took you or more than a month to get, then you lose it in a week. It's actually something very crazy. I'm going to try as much as I can not to repeat this silly mistake again, because the whole thing messed with my trading psychology. Like, the emotional stress was too much this week, that at some point I had to even pray for the week to, like, just end. The weekend should just I was praying for weekend to come very fast, so I can actually, because I got to a point where I couldn't control what I was doing. I just find myself in a state of, should I say, going back to doing something again. Like, the emotional, like, stress was at play. Everything was just there. I just find myself going back, trying to frustrate, trying to. I was just so, when you just had so much hope on something that, like, this thing is going to happen, and it's not happening, then you get hurt emotionally, and you try to try to make, like, you're literally doing something that is outside your control. You don't control how this chart moves, and that was exactly what I was trying to do this recently concluded week, and it never went. It never favored me. It never went in my favor. Now let's get right into it. All right. So this was the where price action for this week started. It started on Monday. This was last week. I actually missed this, but I could have caught it, but I missed it. All right. I took some sales there on a personal account, but that's a story for another day. I don't document my personal accounts there, all right? But sometimes when I see good setups, I do take them on my personal account. I just fund small dollar and take, all right? But majorly, I'm trading profit, all right? So this was when Monday price action started. You can see Monday and Tuesday, I did not get any setup. So price literally was just going up. See, we got to about 3.5 price, all right, $2,500 price. That was exactly where we started getting that reversal. Gold started pulling back. I couldn't catch any of the sales, all right? So I wanted to, continue. I wanted to wait for the continuation, so I was still continue buying, because I know gold is still very bullish. So this sign here is not even a bearish sign. This is just a minor structure, a minor substructure that is just going to a change of character, that is just for pulling back to the discount zones. Then before we continue buying again, and that was exactly what happened. So this was the first place that I was looking for a buy. So this was the protected low that I was looking at. Now price pulled into this particular level, so I was expecting a buy here. That was why, hence my first buy here. So that was the reason why I bought here. Did you see? All right. So, but now in this buying, my stop loss was just at this low. This was where my stop loss was, and I was targeting this high. Obviously, this was the next draw on liquidity. But something happened. All right. The moment my price triggered my entry, it started pulling downwards. I was running a very huge loss. All right. Because in this particular trade, I was risking 2%. All right, which is totally against my plan. Now, in my trading plan, I said I'll be risking 0.5% on my funded account, especially when I have two accounts. Now I have 225K. So there's no need for going very big on the risk. I said I was going to go very small, so that when the losses, even if I have losses, is 0.5, it's not really going to affect me psychologically, because the way I trade evaluation is not the way I trade funded accounts. All right. So that was the plan. But I don't know. I don't know what going to me. I was like, okay, since I already made 9% on the first one, let me try 2%. Maybe it could work on this one. Then I make another 9 or 8%, something like that. This was just what was going through my mind. Then I can dump it for payout, because the payout for this particular new account is on the 19th of next month. I was like, okay, if I should make this payout, make this, if this trade should click, that means I won't trade this account again till the payout date, before I will start looking forward to trading it again. So that was just the whole thing. So I risked 2% on this one, but when the trade started reversing, because I was like, okay, my stop loss is there, and the final low, all right, protected low is here. So why not put my stop loss here instead of taking that loss here and price might just get to sweep this particular low now start going up? It's better I put my stop loss at this low, all right, this low that is a protected low. And that was how price, you can see how price came to snipe the low, like hit my stop loss instead of losing 2%, that 2% here, all right. Now at this point I was losing about 3.5%. Like it was very crazy. Imagine taking one trade, and one trade on a funded account, your very first trade is a loss, and not just a random loss, a huge loss, a very big loss, which is what you should avoid in your trading. Avoid big losses because it messes with your psychology. That was where everything got spoiled, because the starting of the psychological stress, emotional stress this whole week was from here. This trade I took on Wednesday. The moment I lost that 3.5%, like I became hyperactive. Like I don't know, I was trying to revenge trade because now I started having that hope that gold must reverse from here. Now after, remember, I was like, okay, if we take out go she reverse from here, but it did not reverse from there. Now it came to take out this low. So and you see another thought start coming to my mind. I was like, okay, if it takes out this low, it will start going up, something like that. Then if he breaks out of this falling wedge, then we'll be fine to like go up, something like that. All right, that was the thought that started coming to my mind. So at this point, this is the point where I was like, what I should have done at this point, since I've already made mistake in the first one, I should have just, maybe deleted the account from my MT5 and went and go off the chart and come back maybe next week when everything will be stabilized and balanced. But no, all right, the emotion got the best part of me. I was still there. This was on Wednesday. After Wednesday price action closed, because it was during New York session, I got hit. This stop loss got hit. So the next day opened. This was Asian session. The next day, you can see this very very bullish move, all right. And this was a breakout. You can see there was so much injection of volume in the market, which actually pushed price up to break this falling wedge. Now we've broken out of this particular trend line, and this is a very good sign for reversal, right? Now this is a key level, all right. This is a key level from last week. This level price has been respecting this level, all right. And this was a very good level too. If you go to 15-minute time frame, all right, you're going to see that before we came to this key level during the Asian session, price actually moved up, creating something like engineering liquidity right here. So this was the next place I wanted to buy from, but at the same time there was a space here. If you go to the Oanda chart, because this is forex.com, if you go to the Oanda chart, you're going to see that there's a gap at this level. Let me even show you guys. You can see, are you seeing that gap? You can see this gap. And what do we know about gaps in the market? Price always comes to feed them, all right? They are like price magnets, they attract price. Now let's go back to forex.com. So let's go back to forex.com. So you can see that gap is actually replaced by a very bullish candle here, right? It's the same thing. So there's a lot of imbalance, same thing there, fair value gap. There's a lot of imbalance which needs to be filled. But that was actually what I considered when I wanted to buy from here. I was like, this inducement, let me buy from here. But I didn't buy from here aggressively. I was like, okay, let me wait for more confirmation, all right? Let me wait for more confirmation. And when price tapped here, you can see price started pulling back up. This was on Thursday morning, all right. Now look at this. Look at this candle. Then we have this dragonfly doji, which is a very bullish reversal candle. Then after this dragonfly doji, you can see this next bullish candle, which by these three candles actually formed a morning star, bullish morning star candle, and this is reacting from a key level. So I was like, okay, this is a very bullish signal. So I should be entering from the close of this candle, and my stop loss should be just below this candle. But I kind of shifted it, I gave it a little bit of space at this candle low. All right, this was actually the fastest stop loss. Price triggered me and started moving down. All right, it was running a very huge loss. Now in this trade, guess what? I was risking 2%. I actually wanted to risk 0.5% on this trade, or 1%. That was actually what was on my mind after I took this risk. I was like, let me reduce my risk so I don't go down fast, all right, on the account, because if I keep risking 2%, it's definitely going to go down fast. All right. Now, when I risk 2%, I was going to risk 0.5%, but somehow I enter with 2%. Why? The reason is because when that thought of, okay, if I keep risking high, I was going to go down fast. I also had the thought of, okay, if you risk little now, let's say you risk 0.5%, and this move goes all the way here. Imagine you'll be making, I was targeting somewhere here that time. I was like, because 1 to 3 is my minimum target, right? Now, if you are risking 0.5% and you do 1 to 3, that's 1.5%. It's not going to cover this loss. Actually, it's not going to cover it. It's very obvious, right? And if you're risking 1%, it's just going to give you 3%. It's still not going to cover this loss. You still have about 0.5%, which is just one trade that you lost. That one of your win trades should have covered all the losses and put you in gain. You see the benefit of applying proper risk management. All right. Now at this point, I had no option than to go back to the 2%. This is very draining. I had no option than to go back to the 2%, so I risked 2%. Now at this point, now I was already scared of losing the trade because I entered the price trigger and it started reversing immediately. So it got to about 0.5%. That was where I panically closed the trade. All right, so I just lost 0.5% plus this 3.5% here. That is totaling 4%. Now that is already crazy. From just two trades, you've lost 4%. Now look at what that trade did. It came here, sniped my stop loss, and it started moving up. All right. Now, if you look at this particular level, you're going to see that this level is serving as resistance. This particular key level that I have here, it rejected price from here, rejected price from here, same thing here, rejected price. So, and you can see here that price have already closed, broken above that resistance, and closed above it. So automatically this particular resistance is going to fit to support. So that was why I placed my second entry here. All right, second entry here, and this was on Friday morning. All right, and my stop loss at the low of the candle. If you go to like 4 hour, either 4 hour or 2 hour, 2 hour, you're going to see something similar here. Although that was on another chart, you're going to see something like a very bullish. Let me check. Okay, that was here. Let's go back. So that was where I entered here. Although on the 2 hour there was no really big intent, but you can see what happened there. All right. Now, if you're looking at this, when I entered this trade and when the trade triggered, remember I've already lost 4% here, and this was on Friday morning. So I had no option. I didn't want to risk it again because the loss is already very much, and risking 0.5% is not going to take you out of the drawdown or 1%. So I had to like continue with this 2%. Now I risked 2% here. So when this trade started reversing, that was when my eyes opened and I was like, man, this is actually crazy, because look at this now. This low now is now serving as liquidity because this high now we did not actually break it. Look at, we swept this high, so this is not a break. Automatically the low that actually swept this high becomes a liquidity because market is going to take it out, then take it out to react from this particular low. Now at the end of the day, you can see that we are still coming back to that gap to fill it. So this was where my entry was, and my stop loss was there. Now I was already running a very huge loss on this one. All right, so I did not close it. That is where the problem, the same problem I did there, the same mistake I did there, where my stop loss was supposed to be here. I should have taken that loss and moved on. I did not. I moved the stop loss to here, and I had to like lose 3.5%. Same thing happened there. I did not leave my stop loss to be here at this low, and I was like, since this market was going to reverse, let me move my stop loss. Look at where I put my stop loss here. All right, now I was like, okay, if I leave my stop loss here, market is going to come here. If it start reversing, I'm going to recover from these losses, and once it crosses this line here, then I will be in profit. Like, this is just the worst way to trade. I'm just seeing all of this mistake and it's really pissing me off. All right, because a funded account is something that you shouldn't lose that fast. You worked hard for this thing. It took me almost more than a month to actually get that funded account, and I just blew it up all in 1 week because of one mistake. Right? That is the more reason I'm recording this thing, because I'm never going to repeat this mistake. I'll try as much as I can, because that's where the problem is, following those rules. I have a trading plan. I have rules on this plan that I should have followed, but I did not follow my rule this week. Like, there was no single trade here I followed my rule. I was just looking at this trade and I'm just like it's just very very painful. It's hurting me because there was none of these trades I followed my rule, and I don't have to. I'm solely responsible for the whole thing. All right. I know the fact that I've learned something now because this thing has happened to me before. The first funded account I lost, that was exactly the same thing. And don't trade funded accounts. What I've learned from this thing now is that I shouldn't trade funded account when I have no evaluation. Like I don't have a challenge account that I'm trading. What actually made the previous one successful was because I had a challenge account then. Alright, so the whole pressure wasn't on the funded account. I wasn't just so eager to make money. I was sharing the focus because I wanted to pass the challenge and at the same time make money on the account. So it wasn't solely on the account. So I was dividing my trade, take trade on the evaluation, then on the funded. But the previous one, it was just the account that I had, and I was taking all the trades there, and that's how I blew it up. Same thing with this one now. I don't have any challenge account as of the moment. All right, at the moment I do not have any challenge account at the moment, and all my trades were this week were just on this account, and that was why the whole thing blew up. Honestly, like this is very very crazy, and it's very painful. Not just crazy, it's very painful. Honestly, so look at, I shifted the stop loss instead of leaving. I should have taken that loss and moved on. I shifted the stop loss to this place. The trade started. You can see it was at this point safe. It was already looking as if the trade was going to take out this low. All right, because at this point it was already reading. It got to about $950 something loss, which is close to 1,000, which is the 5% that they don't want you to like lose. If you lose the 5%, all right. If you lose 5%, that means you've lost your account. See, I'm even discovering this now. 5% is actually 1,250, right? And I was thinking it was 1,000. Crazy, this is crazy. I actually thought 5% was 1,000, honestly. And even upon that, I thought 5% was 1,000, honestly, and that was why when the thing got to 900 at this point, I had to panically close it. It was around 980, and I know that if it hits 1,000, they are going to breach the account on 5% daily drawdown. All right, and that was why I panically closed the trade here, and I lost how much? 900 and something dollars. 980 something dollars should be more than 4.5% now. Abi? It should be close to 4%. Since 1,000 is 4%, so it should be close to 4%. Let's say I lost 4% on that account, plus the 4% I've lost again. That's 8%. So I'm down 8% on that account, on the funded account, and you just left with 2% to like breach the whole thing, hit the overall drawdown, which is crazy. I was even thinking the $1,000 is the 5%. So that was actually why I panically closed, because I didn't want to hit the maximum daily drawdown. Alright. But the worst way of trading is actually adjusting anything. Those are the things that you should have accepted before entering a trade. So why adjusting? If you should adjust, I should have just taken that loss, then maybe re-entered here freshly, then put my stop loss here and note that, and just note this is a new trade. Well, it is what it is. Look at this one now. This one that I saw later now. Look at triggered and it's moving up now. This would have been a good trade if I had taken this one out. Now, because of that fear, I couldn't take this trade because I didn't want to hit the daily drawdown. The two was already like, if this one is running and the loss in this one is running, that would have been brutal. You get, so that was why I closed. I didn't take this one, but look at this one now. This is a very good trade, and I'm sure next week gold is going to buy. Honestly, it's just very obvious on the chart that gold is going to buy next week, and I'm going to miss the entire move, except I get a re-entry maybe somewhere here or what. Alright, but I already missed that move. I already missed it, which is very very painful. Not missing it, I was just chasing trade. Look at this one here, look at this one here, look at this one here. I was literally chasing the trades, and I didn't catch any. when the good one came up, there was no longer capital to like take it, and that was just the whole thing. All right, like it's very painful. Let's go over. All right, so let's go back to my dashboard. I shouldn't have logged out. So this is my funded next dashboard. So let's check the accounts. How many? What's the drawdown stuff? Man, this is crazy. I don't even wish this on anybody, but it's all part of trading, though. It's all part of trading, man. It's all part of trading, my brother. So you have nothing. There's literally nothing I can do. So I should have done better, but we are all human and we make mistakes. Well, I guess it's not too bad. I have this particular payout coming in on Wednesday. So look at this payout. This is coming on Monday. Monday is 28th, right? So I'm eligible for payout on 25 and of 8.9%. I'll be withdrawing this on Monday. Like, this is actually very sweet. I can't wait. But at the same time, I messed up. So look at this 50k, 8% drawdown, 7.81%. This is as good as gone, because once I'm down, I'm in a drawdown of more than 5%. I know that the chances of recovering that account is here. It's very tiny. Look at the payout dates, May 13th. Like, this is crazy, man. This is just the second week of May. Let's say I make this withdrawal on Monday now, and the second week of May, I'm already up for another payout. It's just 1 week interval. Even if it's 2%, which is about $500, I'm still good. It's a lot of money. But let's see what I've like done here, and due to bad trading, man, this is horrible. Well, I have nothing to do. I just have to like accept it. I just have to, I needed to rant, alright, to just clear it off my head. Next week, as soon as I get that payout, alright, I'm going to get a new account. I'll get a new 50k account, like I've already said. Get a new 50k account and start trading. I'm going to leave this account for a while, just like for the whole psychology thing to reset. Then when I get back on it, I will make sure that the first trade I'm going to take on the account is going to be like one of my high probability, and I'm going to risk like 2%. And I know that if that 2% clicks, is either I'm out of the drawdown completely or I lose the account, because there's no need going low again. 0.5. How many trades do I want to take on it? Or I might just reduce it to two trades, which is 1%, so that it will give me more room. I might use 1 to 2 trades to actually take the account out of drawdown. I don't mind though. So instead of going 2% and maybe if it goes bad you lose the account, I can just split it 1%, because nothing is guaranteed. Even that high probability sector, it might not be, can actually hit stop loss. You shouldn't. It's when you put so much hope like this that emotion gets attached. If price is not like doing what you expect, when you put so much hope that this should go this way, this should actually do this, and it's not behaving like that, that's when the emotional part start getting very, very much. You become very hyperactive with the chart, and because you're trying to control something that is outside your control, so it's very, very it's not going to work, and that way you get hurt, right? You start feeling bad, and that's not how trading is. That's not how trading is supposed to be. All right, I guess I've learned from this. Look at 7.8% drawdown. Something I just uploaded. The video that I just got funded, another 25k, and it's already in about 8% drawdown. Well, crazy stuff happens. All right, crazy stuff. We're still jiggy with the process. All right, no shaking. All right, the process is still on. If we lose this on, we're still like funded. I still have the other 25k. So nothing really bad. Still gonna keep trying. We're not gonna kill ourselves. At some point it's just very funny to me. But it's not easy, like doing this live thing and trying to, especially when you're trying to go. But I know that all these things it's just a phase, right? It's just a phase. It's just a phase. And if you don't pass through this phase, I'm not sure you're going to ever get to that level where you have to like, do things, and people will start asking, how do you do it? Yeah, you're showing so much mastery at this stuff. And they will not know that these are years of experience, that and all these, you've been here before, you've had all these losses, you've had all of this emotional stress and stuff with trading, and at that time you've actually known better how to like handle it, and it just becomes very easy. And they will not be like, how do you do it, bro? Seems so very easy for you. How do you pull this off? So that's all, sha. There's nothing much. We've already spent like 30 minutes on this video. I don't know, but if I'm editing it, it might be actually lesser, but I spent like 30 minutes recording this for you guys. And it was actually fun. It was actually fun. Alright, what's time now? Time is, we just entered Sunday. This is 12:52. It's almost 1 a.m. and I'm still up. Well, the hustle is real, alright? The hustle is so real. I appreciate you all. One love. You guys have been people commenting, saying one or two encouraging stuff. I'm seeing your comments. And I believe a lot of people are actually resonating with this though, and people are just liking the video. So keep showing up, and dropping this content for you guys. The goal still remains 1 million funded, and it's very achievable. It's looking like something I could achieve today, tomorrow. All right, it's still very, very there. I still have the picture in my head that this is definitely going to happen, but these are the baby steps. All right, and we'll have to take them to get to the big steps. All right, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.